This is Mr. Impala. I'm back working on the Biscayne. Possibly my last video I'll make. Who knows? I'm kind of at the end of real stuff that I'm going to do to this, and I'm not just going to go and show you every frickin' thing I do. I'm not going to show you how to do an oil change. I got shocks to put on the Impala. I ain't going to do that. They're useless. I'm not getting any views anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I try to do things to help guys out, and I think I have. You know, for the gas tank on the Impala, I think I helped a couple guys out. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do. I think my tractor video got like 2,000 views the last time I looked, a couple months ago. Yeah, that's cool. But I ain't getting shit for this, so I'm pretty much done. I'm not complaining. I was doing this for fun. You know, I'd like to put power steering on this. Maybe I'll show that. But, you know, it's kind of a pain to do this because I can't just do it. I can't have my music on because I get called out for that. Not by you guys, by YouTube. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, I think on the last video, I did the suspension, the shocks and springs and bushings and everything on this. And I said that, you know, I'm going to put a front sway bar on it, or anti-sway bar, whatever you want to call it. It's called both things. It's an actual anti-sway bar. It stops your car from leaning. And I guess if you're watching that, you know that. Anyway, so this is the kit. I don't even remember where I got it from. I've had it for, well, since I did the suspension, and I don't remember when I did that. Anyway, so this is the kit. This is a sway bar. I believe it's an inch. I'm not positive. Doesn't matter because it doesn't have one, so anything I put on it's going to help. These are the bar attachment, whoops, the bar attachment to the frame things. These are the end links. They attach here. Jesus. They attach here, right here, and then this bracket. I have to drill a hole. I have to drill a hole, 2 holes for this. I'm not showing it. 2 holes for this. Then wiggle this thing through. Actually, I might be able to get to it from the top. Anyway, drill a hole for this. This bracket attaches to the lower control arm, and then this attaches the driver's side, well, passenger side to the driver's side, and the same on this. And then this is the assembly lube to put inside here. And these are greasable also, so I guess if I forgot to do this, I could always grease it. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I can't find it anywhere on YouTube. I can't even find it on the internet. Nobody shows how to do it, so maybe I can help you. I did learn from the Tri-5, you know, the 55, 56, 57 Chevys. They kind of had the same setup with the bracket. Now, if you have an Impala, this is already built into your control arm. I'm not sure about a Bel Air. Biscayne does not have it. Maybe if it had a 409, I don't know. Mine does not have it, and I've heard that Biscaynes don't have it. So there you go. So let's get to it. Okay, so the tools that we're going to need, I think, and there'll probably be more than I'll have to get, but we have to drill the 2 holes in the frame for holding the sway bar to the frame. These are 9/16. This is, oops, I'm really not good at this. So these are 9/16, the ones that hold it to the frame. This is a 9/16, the nut not the drill size. This nut, locking nut, is a 9/16. Sorry about the racket. Oh, and don't do this if you have a nice car. Don't put it on your hood. That's stupid. Anyway, and I know my mom's yelling at me right now. Yeah, I'm 57 years old. My mom's yelling at me. This nut is a 1/2 inch, and the bolt is 1/2 inch also. So you need Craftsman, whatever, 1/2 inch, 9/16. You'll need some drill bits. I don't know what size yet. I can't even remember, 1/4 inch and a 3/8 inch or something. I think most people have used, like, to drill the initial hole. You'll need a center punch too. I don't have a center punch. Drill of your choice. I have another battery charged just in case this dies out. I'll put that on one. Maybe these are like little bungee cords. Maybe use these to hold it up to the frame when you're trying to mark the place to drill the 2 holes to hold it to the frame. So you also need some type of a marker. I've got like a grease crayon type thing that I use for everything. So that's what you'll need for that. But one thing I forgot is one of the things I've done in the past is I replaced the reverse lights when I did the LEDs and all that. Well, these are my new reverse lights. I don't know if you can see them, but I used to have the 2 big round lights there, and I just changed it to these. They look better and obviously will get more attention when I'm backing this boat up. Alright, now let's get under the car. Alright, so I have wiggled the sway bar into place, and as you can tell, hopefully this is in shot. I'm not sure. Is this in shot? Yep. So this is the bushing. Sorry about my roller thing here. This is the bushing that attaches to the frame. I have installed both of them, lubed them inside and out. The bracket will go on the, like, on this side of it, and it's actually fitting pretty tight, which is kind of weird. But so I'm probably not going to have to use any bungee cords to hold it. But I did want to show you, and I'm assuming if you're watching this, you know how to do this, but just in case, I don't want to glance over everything. So installing, just like installing like if you're replacing a sway bar or replacing links, you're kind of doing it the same way. So hopefully this will show it. Let me see if I can angle that a little bit. There we go. Is that better? Maybe. If not, pretend. So put your link in the top. Put your stud. I'm going to call that a washer, but it's like a retainer for your bushing. Fat end of the bushing down. Let me see. It's not always going to be down. Towards the thing that it's bushing. So this is going to go through the bar. The next one will go up. See the fat part? So that it actually fits inside the bar and kind of holds it a little bit straighter or whatever. Got it? All right, continue. It would be better if the car was jacked up, but I don't like to do suspension stuff without the weight of the car on the suspension. Especially this, because it would drop the sway, drop the lower control arm and upper control arm down, which would make it harder to reach. Obviously I could lift it up a couple of inches and it wouldn't affect me too much. But anyway, so bushing bushing holder. I'm going to color a washer from now on. Then we got like a spacer. Probably shorter than what you're probably used to. It's shorter than what I'm used to. See, if I was a professional, I would have had this all done, figured out. I mean, okay, now we have to put this bracket that we're going to have to drill a hole for. Put that in there. And the bushing goes around that. Long arms might help. So I'm not going to tighten this up because this is not permanent. What it would look like is something like this. So basically what we want to do now, and I've got the other one done. Oops. I pushed away on the wrong thing. That's not mounted yet. What we need to do now is the side-to-side motion, or the side-to-side evenness of the sway bar needs to be adjusted so that there's like the same amount on this side as the other side. And that's just a matter of, I'm just going to eyeball it. I've not seen anybody on the Tri-5 cars do any type of real measurement on it. And then there's two ways going about the next step after I get it evened out, centered, however you want to say. Some people drill these holes first to mount this sway bar and this bushing to the body, to the frame, and other people drill this hole first. I've heard people say that they wish they hadn't drilled this one first, that they had drilled that one first. So I am going to drill the link end on this control arm. I'm going to drill this hole first, and then we'll drill these two holes. So let's, I guess let's center it up and then figure out our next step. Okay. So it's pretty much centered. It wasn't a big adjustment, but there's not a lot to adjust. It is very, don't mind how greasy this is. Hopefully it won't hit. But we're not going to worry about that in this video. Because it's like super close. Anyway, let's continue on and not worry about that. So what I'm trying to do at this point is make sure that this link is straight up and down as much as possible anyway. It doesn't look like it wants to be straight up and down though. So maybe it needs to be angled a little bit. And like I said, there was no instructions, so I'm kind of flying blind here. So I guess that is about as good as it's going to get. So what I'm going to do is clean my hands a little bit and then trace around it, and then I will pull this bottom part off and see if this end is sharp enough to go in there and like make a little white mark so I know where to center punch. And if that doesn't work, I'll take the whole thing apart and center punch straight in, because the center punch will make it. But I'm going to marker on the outside, and then we'll go from there. But let me clean my hands off first so I don't get the marker all greasy. Okay. So hopefully, without moving the bar, which it's pretty solid in there, I'm going to put it right there. Oops. I'll try to put it right there. Again, if my left hand worked. It keeps moving. I suppose you could weld these in too. I did not see anybody do that, but I don't know why you couldn't. I am probably not going to, at least at first. So now everything's just going to fall back out. But that's okay, because all I need, actually, is this bracket. So you can see the marks, so I know exactly where to put it. Let's do it the right way. So right there is where I want to put it. Make sure that it's like sitting flush. Again, stop moving. It did make them work. So I'll center punch that and start drilling. So get right on that mark, or as close as I can get. That should be good. And start drilling. You want to make sure that you don't, like when you finally get through the metal, you don't slam it through, especially with the next bit, because it will be longer, and you really probably don't want to hit your shock absorber, because that would be a really bad day. Well, unless you're replacing your shocks at the same time. All right, continue on. Pilot hole is drilled. Woo. It's the little things in life, you know? Alright, so I'm going to grab a drill bit that is just a hair larger than this. Okay, here we go. Is this it? And it fits just fine. Probably didn't need to wiggle it, so should have checked it first. But anyway, so this is in. Let's see, does it go this way? Yeah, probably that way. So like I said, if you had an Impala, this would already be part of the lower control arm. And the Bel Air, I'm just not sure of. The Biscayne, everyone that I've heard about, is like this. So, I guess I need 2 1/2 inchers, or 9/16. You could probably put like a Loctite on this. I am not at this point going to do that. I will check it in like a couple of weeks. Well, a few times driving it anyway, just to see how it's doing. You could use a ratchet or even an impact. I'm just not at this point gonna do that. But at this point, I got my wrench stuck in there. There we go. Alright, so that's snugged up. I might want to... Okay, that's really snugged up. What I want to do is make this, it's a little on an angle. I want to make it more like this versus this. Hopefully that's showing up. So hopefully I can just loosen it. Just a tad. Of course not. There we go. Now to figure out how to keep it in that same plane. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe I put this through. Yeah, it might work. You don't mind if I talk to myself, do you? Now before I do tighten this up for the final time, I will lube these bushings also. Just, you know, again, there's no instructions, but I just feel like that might help it not squeak. And I lost the bushing. Oh, there it is. so I'm not going to snug this up as tight as I might. The way you would normally tighten these up is, I believe, similar to shock absorbers, where you do it so there's just a little bit of squish on the bushing. But right now, I am just tightening it up that far, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll come back and we'll do that one, and then it should be done. Alright, so let's start working on drilling the holes, marking and drilling the holes and attaching the sway bar to the frame. So I've already done the other side, so I didn't look totally stupid on this side. Although it was pretty straightforward as the link attachment was on the control arm. Just got to drill 2 holes instead of 1. So let's go. I've centered the sway bar again, just to make sure that it's in pretty good shape. And then mark it. Mark this side. Maybe, there we go. Then I'll make sure that there's the white mark on both sides, which I can see this one is. I need to steal the light real quick. Apologize. Okay, there's a mark there and there. So I can start drilling. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Hopefully none of this falls on the camera. This side's really caked up with crap. Alrighty. So I noticed doing the other side, hang on, I had to make a larger hole than was actually needed, at least on this side I did. So instead of 3/8, a 3/8 inch drill bit, I used, I used 3/8 first, but then realized that what needs to be done, you need a 1/2 inch hole. Not sure if I wore my 1/2 inch drill bit out, but we'll see. Anyway, 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, and I got it in this one. I didn't finish getting it in this one. It got very stiff. I mean, not very stiff. It got very unwilling to drill, so I might be able to sharpen it, but at this time I'm just going to try and drill with the 3/8 and see what happens. So I can't see the other one. I gotta steal the light again. I apologize. As all the stuff falls out of the car. Get this back so you guys can see. Okay. I should mention, I don't know if the camera is getting it. If you can see where my thumb is, I can't see from this point, but it's about this far if it's not reaching. There are another set of bolts like what I'm going to drill. And I'll try and remember to show this, but from this distance, from the bar to this distance, there are a set of 2 holes which would work as the sway bar, but the only sway bar manufacturer that I think uses these 2 holes is Global West, and they're super expensive. They're supposed to be really good, but they're super expensive. So yeah, if you want to use the 2 bolts that are further to the front of the car, go ahead. They have spacers, I think, for radiators like mine probably, that would stick down and interfere with it. But just so you know, there is other options other than whatever I got. I don't remember what company I got this from, but okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm gonna switch to the 3/8 inch bolt, 3/8 inch drill bit. And see how long the battery lasts. This is my second battery. I got the other one on charge. I do have a third, but hopefully this will make it. So I'm going to try and go in there and hog it out a little bit. See how that goes. It's hot. I might be running into the steering bolts too, I don't know. Okay, moment of truth for this size. So, let me make sure that this is in view here. I don't know. I think it is. Yep, it is. So what I have to do is I have to get this to go up, sorry, not up in here and come out like that. That's the game I gotta play. So, not sure if it's gonna work. I think I've heard things that people actually had to weld bolts into this because of the steering box. But we will see pretty shortly here. Okay, can't do it this way. And there's a lot of crap in the frame. That doesn't help either. Oh, there is something right here. Alright, so this is going to be an issue because this hole right here does not allow for anything, I don't think. Let me get all the crap out of here first, I guess. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do it this way. I might have to come back another day and finish this thing off and I can figure out what to do. Because there's a tube. I don't know if you can really see where my finger is, but this bolt right here goes all the way through the frame. And there is a tube for strength that is in the frame that my finger is hitting. So, that being said, this is not going to work. So, until I figure out what to do, I guess we're done here. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a few seconds to you. Alright, it's the next morning. I did figure out what I was going to do last night, and that looks absolutely disgusting. Anyway, what I ended up doing is for this bolt right here, it is actually a bolt. So it was a little bit longer than this. Oops. It was a little bit longer than this. But this probably would have worked just fine. And I just dropped it through the hole. Let me turn the light on here. Did that turn the light on? Through that big port, that big hole right there, I think. This one right here? My finger? Oh, sorry, I was at the wrong place. So, right here is the top of the bolt. And for the back one, which might be that hole that I was originally looking at. Not sure. But anyway, you have access to it. But what I had to do is I had to take, the, so on the other side, for that right there, I took that, I'll call it a U-bolt, but it wasn't exactly a U-bolt. I just took that and cut it in half. So, as you can see here, I cut it in half, and just from this access hole, right here, so you got this one, and you have this one. So these two right here give you access to the top of where those bolts or those things have to come in. So I cut that thing in half, slipped it down, thread down, and there was just enough room for it to slide all the way through. I got the nuts on, and all I have to do is snug them up, and she's good to go. And that's all there is really to this. I think I said at the beginning, I'm not sure if that is going to rub, because it's really close. Same with the other side. I think there's a little, there's almost, there's a good 1/4 inch clearance right there. This probably doesn't show very well, but there is clearance. This one, I might have to do some grinding on that steering arm right there. We'll see. Hopefully when I get power steering, if I go that route at some point, it'll fix all of these possible issues or whatever. So anyway, that's it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to button all this up. I'm going to loosen the links on both ends and take some of that lube, spread it around where the bushings meet metal on both sides, and then I don't have to lower her down, so then it's just a matter of taking her for a ride. I'll probably cycle the steering back and forth just to see if I see or hear anything. And then time to take her for a ride. I will take you for a ride with the dash cam, and then I'll compare it to after I had the springs and shocks and bushings put in. See if I can find that footage, or I'll just take it from where I posted it to YouTube, and then kind of do the same route and see if I can see a difference, see if you can see a difference. Anyway, so that's it for right now. I guess you'll see the results of it, and then that'll be it. I may or may not come back after that. I probably will, so I'm not going to say goodbye yet. So, ciao ciao for now, I guess. Whatever that means. Flat 41, with my strap by the door. We was going to the country for what we came for. I'm sure you smell the trees in the air. The best of motor cruising's just a joy to get there. I was approaching Silverton down by the cotton gin. There was old man Bergman trying to flag me in. He asked if I would stay a while and if I needed gas. I said no thanks anyhow, I don't drive too fast. Hallelujah, hallelujah, ride my Chevrolet. Hallelujah, hallelujah, ride my Chevrolet. Oh, it is so much better. So much better. Alright, I'm happy. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.